Hi everyone, hope you're good. I don't know why this guy is dark. So just one thing, because it's going to be a series. I intend to make it continuous. Hopefully gives us some clarity as to what's going on. I've sat back to think about President Tinubu. Is he really a bad leader? Is he really somebody whom is not strong enough to navigate the ship of the country? Or is not good enough to navigate the ship of the country? I don't think so. Let's talk about why most Nigerians don't like President Tinubu, or we could say some Nigerians don't like President Tinubu. He came, and then the first day in the office, he started making things bad for people. People started buying things double the amount that they actually did buy stuff. He removed fuel subsidy, and that is bad. And even me, I'm still feeling the pinch of the removal of fuel subsidy. But I haven't looked at the whole thing. If you turn to Peter Obi, he says subsidy is going to go. If you turn to Atiku, subsidy was going to go. So there was no way around it. The country was in a deep mess. In fact, if the subsidy was not removed by now, I'm not sure there's any country that would even look at us to borrow, to lend us money, because we would have been terribly bankrupt. So let's talk about this subsidy thing that was removed. So I've heard Peter B say things like, oh, if you remove subsidy, I'm going to stagger it. I'm going to do it gradually because Nigerians we're going to feel the brunt. But you will still feel the brunt anyway. Whether if the fuel price is at 400 or at 500 and the government is paying the remainder, you will still feel the brunt. And what that means is that it's bad for the long run, because we are still pushing the rainy day. The same thing that Peter Obi advocated for is what Goodluck Jonathan did in 2012. And we said, no, there's a corruption in it. How come we are not the same people who called the corruption so-called in 2012 are not calling the corruption now? Let me never go into that, because that will be another topic for another day. Now, this guy is bold enough to say, yes, Nigerians, you're going to feel the pain. You're going to feel the pinch, but if it's just for the moment. And then you saw, those people will start crying, but how long? Yes, it's been 2 years. But guy, what I bought Gary, I went to the market recently to check what's going on in the market. Gary that I usually buy for 3,000 to 3,000 is now down to 1,800. Nobody's telling you that. Inflation is food inflation specifically is beginning to stabilize. It's beginning to even find its level. We bought fuel, remember, when the subsidy thing was all over the place. 1,002, 1,004. How much are we buying fuel now? 800 and something, 840, 820, 890, depending on the location you are. Nobody's saying anything. Now, beans that I usually buy for 8,000 naira for a painter is now going for what? 5,000. Some places 4,500. I'm talking about Enugu, just in case you're wondering where I'm buying it. Enugu market, gong. So it is with other things, including rice. The rice that we used to buy, a bag of rice, 120, 110, 130. Oh, now it's now back to, like, I think the last time I checked, it was 65,000 for a bag of rice, 70,000 for a bag of rice. And it will come down consistently. Dollar went as high as 2,000, 1,950, depending on your location. Now dollar is stabilizing at 1,005, 1,006. Now, some of you will say, oh, well, where did he meet it when he came? Where did he meet it when he came? He met it even in worse condition. Let me tell you the condition he met it. Our debt to service ratio was 97 to 100, 97%. So you had just 3%. If there's a budget that is being released now, it is a budget that is being released now. Do you know that that budget, 97% of that budget will be used to service our debt. As against now that is down to 60%. Like 97% you will use in servicing debt, and then 3% is what you will now use in doing other things. That is how bad it was when he came. But when he came and now started saving money, there are more monies that are now given to the governors. There are more monies that are saved that are being invested in several places. Maybe you would say that, oh, he should have been investing it back to maybe put it on subsidy on food, put it on subsidy on transport. Maybe you would have said that. Oh, but again, there are other things that the money is being used for. So you don't really hate Tinubu. What you hate is your bias. You don't just like that he is the one that took over office. But trust me, when this administration started, I was a fierce critic. When I mean fierce, I went as far as calling him names. But with what I have seen now, with things coming down, prices of food coming down, no president born of a woman that would come after him, that will come and tell us anything about subsidy. Subsidy is gone forever. Nobody will come and say, hey, subsidy. Do you know the price of fuel now? Our fuel is not charged at international price range. The only thing I would say, okay, can we have more refineries so that within our sector, within our environment, we can have competition that would make prices come down, like what we have with telecommunications. Since our prices right now, crude oil is now priced as internationally, now we can now say, okay, fair play within our territory, bring in more investors or sell the refineries to private sector, let them be the ones to manage it, and then so that there will be some competition, so that the prices of fuel will come down drastically. And as soon as prices of fuel come down, you know that every other thing would nosedive in terms of prices. This is what exactly this economy is getting towards. Imagine fuel dropping to 500, 600 owing to competition. The imagine Gary that I now buy 1.8 will be down to 1.2 because one of the major costs of production is transportation. So I cannot transport something from Lagos to Abuja or from Lagos to Enugu for an exorbitant amount in transportation, and then all of a sudden you're telling me to sell it for a price that I used to. Of course it's not going to happen. So be that as it may, I would rather say that, guys, look at what is going on in the economy and tell me why you think that your hatred for Tinubu still stands. Yes, you may say he protested against Goodluck Jonathan in 2012. Why did he protest against it? By now, if he didn't protest, things would have been done. Remember, the country was already fed up with the government of the day at the time, and they just wanted anything but Jonathan. There were a lot of corruption, just like every other administration is being bedeviled with all sorts. There were a lot of corruption at that time. So, but increasing the burden on the masses was uncalled for. And then he went to the street, and everybody went to the street. But right now, he now knows better. People changed their perspective. That was 2012. How many years ago? More than 10 years ago. What am I saying? 15 years ago. So he now knows better. And now, you know what? Let's remove this thing once and for all. Let everybody have a peace of mind. Every government that comes for subsidy. Okay, so a Peter Obi or a Tinubu comes and then gradually removes it. First year, subsidy. Second year, talk about subsidy. Third year, talk about subsidy. That I mean, it means things will keep increasing by the day. It's the truth. He was bold. Yes, he may have, people may have lost a lot of money through that, but he was bold and said, look, I'm going to do it. But I'm going to do this, but I know it's going to pain everybody. But guys, this is what we would do in order to save and secure our future. And this guy has done it. And so far, this is 2 years down the line. The dividends right now is showing up. There is an investment in the oil and gas sector, and more people are coming in to invest in that sector. Another refinery is coming up in Akwa Ibom, courtesy of BUA Group. So when that competition comes in, you can imagine the amount of fuel the price of fuel at that time compared to prices of goods and services. So stop the hate on Tinubu. Look at his policies. So far, you can say that this particular one was the best decision. so that even if he doesn't win the 2027 election, you will now not say, oh, he didn't do it. No president will come and say, let's reverse back to subsidy, or let's go back to subsidy. Let nobody deceive you. That was the best decision that any president would have taken at the time, given the situation that we found ourselves. Nobody should come and say that his policy would have been better, or by staggering it. You are just postponing the evil day. That's the truth. You are postponing the evil day. So we have swallowed that bitter pill. Now we are about to reap that thing. It's about time now to start reaping the benefits of all of those things that those subsidies that was removed. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you still hate him? Have you changed your mind? Have you changed your perspective? Like I said, this is going to be a series. This is just one aspect about subsidy I have discussed. Next time I come, I'm going to talk about other things. We're talk about maybe governor, the relationship between him and the governor, because the relationship between him and the local government, and every other thing in between. It's all going to be about why you hate Tinubu. All right? Let me know in the comments what you think. I will be back.